BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
Brazil's national oil company, Petrobras, has secured approval for exploratory oil drilling near the mouth of the Amazon River, a decision sparking significant concern among environmental advocates and raising questions about the nation's commitment to its stated climate goals, particularly as Brazil gears up to host the COP30 climate summit in the Amazonian city of Belém next month. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva finds himself at the center of a growing controversy, facing criticism from conservationists who argue that his administration's embrace of oil expansion directly contradicts his international standing as a prominent voice for climate action. Petrobras has announced that drilling operations in the Foz do Amazonas region will commence immediately, with a planned duration of 5 months, concluding a protracted 5-year effort to gain authorization for exploration in this sensitive area. In a statement released to AFP, the energy giant emphasized its adherence to all stipulations set forth by the environmental watchdog IBAMA, asserting full compliance with the established environmental licensing protocols. Magda Chambriard, the president of Petrobras, expressed optimism regarding the prospects of the research, stating, "We hope to obtain excellent results from this research and prove the existence of oil in the Brazilian portion of this new global energy frontier." The company intends to drill an exploratory well at an offshore location situated approximately 500 kilometers from the Amazon River's mouth, at a substantial depth exceeding 2,800 meters. This project, designated as Block 59 and lying 160 kilometers offshore, has been a personal priority for President Lula, who posits that the revenue generated from oil extraction will be instrumental in financing Brazil's transition to a greener economy. Environmental groups have sounded the alarm over the prospect of oil exploration off the coast of the world's largest tropical rainforest, a region renowned for its extraordinary biodiversity and as the ancestral home to numerous indigenous communities. The Climate Observatory, a prominent Brazilian non-governmental organization, has declared its intention to challenge the decision in court, citing alleged illegalities and technical flaws within the licensing procedure. The NGO further asserted that the approval undermines the significance of the COP summit and is fundamentally at odds with the image of climate leadership that President Lula cultivates on the global stage, characterizing the decision as disastrous from an environmental, climate, and socio-biodiversity perspective. The Foz do Amazonas region is recognized as a part of a burgeoning new offshore oil frontier, mirroring the rapid rise of nearby Guyana as a major oil producer within a remarkably short span, driven by significant offshore discoveries. It is noteworthy that in 2023, IBAMA had previously denied Petrobras an exploration license, citing insufficient plans to safeguard wildlife in the event of an oil spill. As Petrobras pursued appeals, pressure mounted from President Lula, who earlier this year publicly voiced his disapproval of IBAMA's actions, suggesting the agency was operating in opposition to the government. In February, a confidential opinion, signed by 29 IBAMA technical staff and reviewed by AFP, reiterated the recommendation to deny the environmental license, highlighting the considerable risk of massive biodiversity loss in a highly sensitive marine ecosystem. Despite these internal assessments, in May, Rodrigo Agostinho, the president of IBAMA, ultimately overruled this recommendation, permitting Petrobras to proceed with an oil spill accident response drill, which was widely perceived as the final hurdle before the license could be granted. In September, IBAMA gave its approval for the pre-operational environmental assessment, even though Petrobras had not yet definitively demonstrated its capacity to reliably protect fauna in the event of an oil spill. IBAMA has indicated that a new fauna simulation exercise will be conducted after the license is issued. Adding to the concerns, IBAMA's technical staff had, as far back as February, flagged the inherently challenging drilling conditions in the Foz do Amazonas basin, a region characterized by intense storms and powerful ocean currents, raising further questions about the safety and viability of the operation. The decision to proceed with drilling in an area so close to the Amazon River's mouth, a region of immense ecological importance and vulnerability, has ignited a fierce debate about the balance between economic development and environmental preservation, placing Brazil's government under intense scrutiny as the COP30 summit looms. The potential consequences of an oil spill in such a biodiverse and sensitive ecosystem are a paramount concern for scientists, environmentalists, and indigenous communities alike, underscoring the gravity of the decision and the urgent need for robust environmental safeguards and transparent oversight. The approval process itself has faced considerable criticism, with allegations of political interference and a disregard for scientific recommendations casting a shadow over the regulatory framework. The tension between Petrobras's pursuit of new oil reserves and the global imperative to transition away from fossil fuels creates a complex geopolitical and environmental narrative, with Brazil positioned at a critical juncture. The coming months will likely see continued activism and legal challenges as various stakeholders grapple with the implications of this controversial decision, which could have far-reaching consequences for the Amazon rainforest and its inhabitants. The nation's commitment to its ambitious climate targets is now being tested, and the world will be watching closely to see how Brazil navigates this delicate path between resource exploitation and environmental stewardship, particularly in the lead-up to hosting a pivotal international climate conference. The approval represents a significant victory for Petrobras and the proponents of fossil fuel development in Brazil,